There we go. Greetings, everyone. Sorry it took us a week to do these parts, but Rumpy's busy. Rumpy's busy during the day, so. And I
Yeah, taking care of Sophie is like a full-time job.
Yeah. Well, and it doesn't help that I only had, like, 3 parts. Gameplay-wise, I only had 3 parts recorded. So that was fun. I mean, it's still fun. Like, I've been enjoying going back to the game in general.
Prepare for the transfer tomorrow.
And I've been looking up a lot of different, a lot of different things from the debug mode accidentally coming out. There was things revealed. There was, I don't know if you saw, but there was apparently Insomniac. Sony had Insomniac and Naughty Dog work on live service games based on properties that they were doing. And one of them was going to be a Spider-Verse themed game.
Now let's see how it looks so far.
Never get tired of that joke. Anyway, but
damn, bro, I love your setup.
Hey, all jokes aside, it's still better than my setup. At least
that's pro.
At least his drink is like right next to him.
Hey Miles, you busy? I need whatever it is. I'm down.
Some help with a babysitting mission at the Rat.
Sounds fun. Fill me in on the way.
Anything to not write his essay. Dude would probably do actual fucking babysitting just to get out of writing his essay.
Procrastination, it's an ugly thing.
Uh-huh.
Dad, don't guilt me on the essay. Come on.
Haven't finished it. It's just that one SpongeBob episode where Squidward is going slowly more and more insane.
I'm gonna head out though. Pete, call for some backup.
Also, I love that.
Better if I don't
How's the essay going? It's going. Bullshit.
Espera un momento.
Ah, shit, what was I talking
You
about?
know how there have been a few nights recently where
Anyway, I brought up the Insomniac was working on a live service Spider-Man game, and I know a lot of people will look at me and say, "Oh, live service, it's good that it got canceled." It's one of the only times I think I've ever been excited for a live service game because it was going to be fucking Spider-Verse
and
themed.
there's this one guy. I've seen him.
Like, not just movies, like based on the comics and such. It looked interesting.
Asking me?
And I think one of the only, I think,
I'm sure there's.
I think Insomniac could pull off a halfway decent Spider-Man multiplayer game like that. It's just.
But if you're not comfortable, I totally understand.
I'm happy it was canceled because I didn't want them shackled with working on that game for the next 10 years and not getting a new Spider-Man, not getting a new Ratchet and Clank because they were just focused on a live service game. Like that doesn't upset me that it was canceled. I'm upset that it was canceled because it actually looked good.
Better head to the raft.
Also, I do like this. I think I mentioned this in part 3. I do like the suit that I have here, but each part I try and do a different. I try and do a different suit.
Getting the hang of this.
So.
Whee!
Oh yeah, no, the fucking web wings are one of my favorite additions that Spider-Man 2 adds, because it is just so fucking comfortable.
Another updraft. I should check the view.
Boing.
Love a windy day.
Hey Miles, just getting to the raft.
There is actually a.
Who are babysitting?
MJ got a tip.
There is a glitch where you can use one of the movement abilities that you get later to essentially just jump extremely high in the air and just glide anywhere. Sorry, I put that transition in because I was switching, because I had gone um, from one recording session to another. You can tell because you didn't see me switching costumes, despite the fact that I very easily switched to the beautiful 90s costume. I love how beautifully terrible this looks. Like, honestly, it's not a bad looking costume. It's somehow better than the actual Adidas fucking sponsored costume that Miles has at the end of the story mode. Which, unfortunately, due to contractual obligations, I most likely will have to show off at least once in this playthrough.
Now the fastest growing podcast.
But I'm not in
New
any
York.
rush.
Hold on to your knickers, Jonah. I'm coming. For you new listeners, welcome.
Nice.
The Danicast is your spot for real takes and real news about real people. Did y'all hear about this train worker, Dennis, who single-handedly kept the trains running during the Sandman attack?
So I remember there were a
Main
couple
track
things that we
control
talked
booth got
about
cut off by a
in the
power
last three
failure,
parts
and he had to patch you
that
from
we
his
never
cell phone
like
on a
we started a
hotspot
conversation and we
in
never got a
Atlanta.
chance to
South
really talk about it. Also, before I say much further, I am sorry for any frame skipping. I think my computer,
Like that?
that was unintentional.
Nice.
Probably should have checked these parts before actually recording. Anyway, but yeah, no. My laptop was lagging when I was recording the actual gameplay footage. So you're gonna have moments where it looks like there's a cut, and there's not actually a cut. It's just the recording was being wonky.
friend, it's Danica. You are listening to the Danicast. Get this. Now, the
I've had that error
fastest
happen
growing
before where
podcast
where I'm not paying
Hold on to your
attention,
knickers,
accidentally
Jonah.
put
For you new
video
listeners, welcome. The Danicast
duplicate
is
a
your spot
video
for real
and
takes on real news
didn't mean to do
about
it.
real people. Did y'all hear about this train worker, Dennis, who single-handedly kept the trains running during the Sandman attack?
Anyway,
Main track control
but we
got
were
cut
talking
off
about
by
a
a
different
power
we were
failure,
talking about different
and he had
topics.
to patch you from
One
his
topic
cell
that we
phone
never actually
on a
that we never
hotspot to keep the lines up. South
that we never followed up on from part one was Adult Swim games.
Yes.
Yeah, that they what was the thing that it was either like Adult Swim games were shutting down or that they were delisting a lot of their games or something.
They were delisting a lot of their games.
That's unfortunate. Because Adult Swim games is basically in a lot of cases an excuse for different for indie developers to actually get their game out there. I mean, that's how we got the Toe Jam and Earl Back in the Groove game was partially published. If I remember correctly, I think it was partially published by
Miles.
Adult Swim games. Like they helped at some point in development. Which I am happy I have a physical copy of that game. Good game.
Miles.
Miles, I have no time for your traumatic experiences. We are on the clock, my dude. Leave that at home.
Leave your traumatic experiences at home. We can talk about it when we're not on the clock.
Go.
Pete, we're not getting paid to do this shit. Yeah?
Well, you're not getting paid to do this shit.
Miles confirmed unpaid intern.
Red. Yellow. These are...
Wait, this isn't a street parade.
Make sure the prisoners are secure.
I'll
take left.
Wipe out.
The ship.
Damn, I wish I thought ahead on that one.
Anyway, I wanted to ask, so what is your experience with the Spider-Man comics? Like, not movies, not games, like, specifically comics.
Well, I read some in here and there, a couple storylines and a couple one-offs, but I'm not as well versed as I would like to be.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I own multiple comics, and even then, I wish I was a little more well. But what storylines have you read, or at least are knowledgeable of?
I've read some of the Fantastic Four crossovers, some of the Punisher crossovers, some Venom comics. I'm trying to think what else.
Those blades are sharp. You must be new in town. Hi.
I am familiar with the death of Stacy,
In case
too.
you didn't know,
I
this guy
think
has bad
at
news.
this point,
We keep him in prison.
most Spider-Man fans, especially our age, most Spider-Man fans are at least knowledgeable of Death of Stacy. Even if they've never read it, they do know of it.
Who the hell are these guys? I was hoping you knew.
I have experienced a lot of just different Spider-Man comics over the years, like different random ones. I think the one that is still
trying to get inside the ship. They want Scorpion and Lee.
because I have brought this up multiple times, and a lot of people are like, "Why the hell would you think that would be a good idea for a story?" I would love to see the MCU adapt Clone Saga, and I have to bring up a disclaimer. I'm not talking like classic 90s Clone Saga that went on too long and was shit. I mean like Ultimate Spider-Man Clone Saga from like mid 2000s. Like the Ultimate Spider-Man Clone Saga was genuinely a good story. The downside is it's because of its name, it's connected to the overly drawn out Clone Saga. But I've also read JLA/Avengers. This is a fun crossover. I've read the Marvel vs. DC crossover, which I didn't hate, but when the entire point of the crossover is basically let's pit two superheroes from both of these companies together and let popular vote win. It kind of loses its appeal story-wise. Like I don't think the Marvel vs. DC crossovers were bad. It's just you're not. I feel if you're reading the Marvel vs. DC crossover for the plot, you're not reading Marvel vs. DC, right? The main reason you read that crossover is just to see who wins. Not saying the plot was bad. The plot was actually pretty good. It's just kind of the plot really does take a backseat. Hang on. Gotta get the thumbnail and go.
What now?
And now you're about to see why I've called this part Rock the Boat.
Don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat. Don't tip the boat over.
Thanks, Rumpy.
Gotta get the ship freed.
Pull.
Yes. Pull your phone out when...
Oh, my tweet's about to blow up on this.
I got this.
Oh, my ribs.
Let me worry about them. Spider-Man, you gotta get top side.
A little busy.
Looking for civilians on the way. It's bad, man.
But
What happened out there? Did those guards get to
yeah,
safety?
going back to
No signal. Better hurry up.
what I was saying about the comics. Like, I genuinely would like I want a Clone Saga movie because I think get the right people, you could probably do an interesting Clone Saga movie, or at least like don't. You can adapt bits and pieces of it, kind of like how No Way Home adapted part of one of the most infamous Spider-Man comics ever, One More Day. Like, the fact that No Way Home was able to adapt that and still be a good movie, like actually had an emotional ending, yet you adapted what many consider the worst Spider-Man story, that's impressive. Like, it's one of the reasons, like, No Way Home to me is one of the reasons, it is one of the reasons why I feel MCU probably could adapt Clone Saga and make a halfway decent film. They just need to get the right people on there.
My backup power. Here.
And I think I remember telling someone that if we got a Clone Saga movie, I would prefer it if that was Tom Holland's last movie as Spider-Man. Like have it as a passing of a torch, like
this amount of electricity will
let him be Tom Holland's version of Peter essentially retire. Like that Peter is still around, but he is no longer Spider-Man in the MCU. Like, that's his retiring movie, is Clone Saga, and then you get someone else, be it like Miles or Ben Reilly or someone like that, get him to replace him. Like, get a new actor, have that be Spider-Man, but not have that actor be another Peter. Have that be like Ben Reilly or Miles or something. Like, that would be one of the better ways.
Son, write your essay. Why didn't you write your essay, Miles?
Write your essay, Miles.
Why did you leave me to die? Why didn't you just write your essay? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting time!
And then Miles just wakes up on his bed in front of his computer.
This would be a great time for a flushing sound effects.
Yeah, I wish I thought of that. I guess while I'm at it, going back to the movies, if you had the ability to make a sequel to any Spider-Man movie, not counting the MCU, because chances are we're getting a sequel to the MCU anyway. Not counting the MCU, so like, Raimi Spider-Man, Mark Webb, Amazing Spider-Man. Like, if we could get a sequel, what would you rather have? Like, Raimi or Amazing Spider-Man?
Amazing Spider-Man. I want to give Andrew a second chance.
That's fair. That, and for me, it's less of a want to get give Andrew a second chance, because I feel Andrew got his second chance with No Way Home. Because a lot of I remember a lot of people came out of No Way Home and it's like, holy shit, Andrew Garfield's actually a really good Spider-Man, and it's like, yeah,
we knew.
We knew. You just wrote him off. But I want I want a third Amazing Spider-Man. One, so that every Spider-Man actor gets their own trilogy. And two, and more importantly, so that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man actually gets a fucking ending. Because Amazing Spider-Man 2 is such a chaotic mess of a film. That being said, I still feel like Amazing Spider-Man 2 had halfway decent moments. It's just it really was just a more chaotic mess of a film.
I got this. Go on.
I just want.
I can't let him near my family again. Not after what he did to my dad. I have to protect him.
I would like an Amazing Spider-Man 3 just so Andrew gets one last film, like one final hurrah, basically. And I feel that whatever you think about Spider-Man 3, that was still a fairly decent ending for Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yeah, fair.
I would like a Spider-Man 4. I would. But I think that if we never get a Spider-Man 4, if Spider-Man 3 is the last before No Way Home is the last canonical time we see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, that's a fairly decent way to end off. Oh geez, you can really see the frame skipping now.
Weak setup, bro. 0 out of 10.
Yeah, the downside is for this part, and you'll see it a bit more, and you'll see it again in the next part. I think it just had like lag or something, but you just have some frame skipping, and it sucks because story-wise is one of my favorite parts of the game, because it's just it's one of my favorite shots in the game, but it's marred by fucking frame skipping.
Bonk.
Bonk. That's all of them.
Hi, Craven.
Spider-Man. Things just went from bad to East River on fire bad.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
bad. Oh no.
Why did you cheap out on the boat, man?
Rumpy, have you ever played any of the Lego Marvel games?
A couple.
I think I only ever really played one of them. And I wish I still had a copy of it. I had the Wii U version of Lego Marvel Superheroes. And
I remember that game. That's a fun game.
Yeah, it was also a pretty interesting storyline. It's one of the only times I can think of off the top of my head where they actually took into account that these are Lego versions of the characters, and having the big MacGuffin that both the heroes and villains were looking for be literal bricks. Like that was kind of fun. Did not play the second one. I know when it came out, I think I played a demo of the Lego Avengers game.
How many times I gotta tell you people? Lee stays with me.
Which it's really Miles. What are you punching at? It's really weird that they only did one Lego Avengers game, and I think Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 had DLC for Infinity War, but I don't know if they ever did like Endgame or something. And I think that would be fun, like a Lego Marvel game that adapts different parts of the MCU. Like if they wanted to make a game similar to Star Wars to Skywalker Saga that they put out a couple of years ago.
You don't know what you took from me.
That would be one of I don't even know who you are. I mean to be fair, it also doesn't help that even if Lee recognized you in your normal Spire Suit, Miles, I don't think he'd recognize you in that thing you're wearing. Anyway, but yeah, like I would like a Marvel MCU game that adapted bits from the. The only downside is that at least with Skywalker Saga there were only 9 movies to adapt, whereas with the MCU, even if they only adapt up to like, let's say No Way Home, like that's the last movie they do. That's still a lot of stuff to adapt.
First responders are on site now, I think.
Well, on the bright side, one perk of being a superhero,
Police are still
no one
fishing,
ever
but there's no
charges
sign of
you
us.
for the
Any look
damage
up
that
river?
you or your villains do.
Nothing but debris.
Yep. That's all
Who are those
taxpayer
guys?
dollars.
Whoever they are, they're packing some serious tech.
Now they got all that, plus Scorpion and Lee.
Hey, whatever they're planning, we'll find them. We'll stop them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the frame skipping does not help this. Does not help
When I
this
saw Lee
scene.
inside that ship, my powers.
I mean, to be fair, the suits that I have them wearing doesn't help the scene either, but.
You think his energy got entangled with...
I don't know, man. It feels volatile.
Wherever Electric Blue came from, it saved the day back there. Hey. We'll put Lee back where he belongs. Promise.
I mean, we have to. It's almost like it's
Don't let me
part
hurt
of the plot or something.
Trying to soak over here.
Not on my watch. Man.
Peter, that's toxic positivity.
Too much, man.
Wait until he gets the Venom symbiote.